Hey there everybody, how are you? My name is Joanie, this is Weathered Wings, and we are going to do a couple of projects. So I did a couple of projects the other day, and I wanted to do another project with this paper. So it was really like this. I think it was like the front of a car. I just love the colors. Okay, I just love these colors. So I'm going to make some coasters out of them, and I'm going to resin them. So let me just show you what I did real quick. I've got these just little wooden coasters. I got these I think I got these at Hobby Lobby. And so I just picked out some really pretty areas on the paper. So I really like these colors right here. So I just kind of put my coaster under it and go around and just kind of see, okay, what colors. And they're all going to coordinate because they're the same colors, but all the designs will be a little different. Okay, so it's going to look kind of like it is a resin pour or alcohol inks or something like that. So I just kind of mark a little bit. And then I cut a little bit past the mark because once I decoupage it, I'm going to let that dry. And then I'm going to sand it off the edges. And that's what I did. That's another project I did with the other paper of Royce's. Anyway, so I just thought if, you know, a subscription box, if you're one of those that, I know a lot of people tell me they have a hard time starting on a project. They don't know what kind of paint to pick out, the colors. She has it all coordinated. So she had paint in this box as well that coordinated with all the stuff. So it was pretty cool. I mean, it's just nice to have everything right there, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do, take these all, I'm just going to paint each of these. But I usually like to paint with, you know, a light color just because, you know, your papers will be a little transparent and you want them to be able to show up. All the colors, you want them to be able to show up really nicely. I will use my hair dryer. So I'm going to use Paint Couture's Decoupage Medium and Matte. If I can get it open, that's the one I've started using the most. I like DIY's Liquid Patina as well. Let's just start. I'll do one at a time. Now, did I tell you though? Okay, so when I cut around, see, I make a little mark. You know, when I did this, I made a mark so I could tell where to put the decoupage paper. It really doesn't matter because I am going to go all the way around the sides, but if you didn't want it on the sides, see, I want to be able to sand off a clean edge, so I'm only going to put the decoupage medium on the back where I have the markings. So just going to rub some decoupage medium, or brush some decoupage medium on the coasters. Got that on there, so then I'm going to take one of these and I'm just going to put, you know, I'm just going to kind of go around the line. It doesn't have to be perfect, but again, I just want to be able to sand it off. This just makes it easier for me. So I just kind of know what works for me. Okay. And I am going to take a little bit of water and just spritz it. Just, you know, you don't even have to do that, but all right. See, these are all going to be different, but all the same color because it all had different, throughout the paper was different, you know, little designs. There we go. Like I said, I always paint around my edges anyway, so I don't really care about that part. Ooh, look, I'm being rough again. Don't see me? I was like Hercules bending that over. And after I use that, the plastic wrap, I usually will put on another coat of the Decoupage medium because you pull so much of it off. So I'll go back and do that, but I'll do that afterwards so y'all don't have to watch all this. I didn't want to keep y'all forever. Okay. Use the same plastic wrap as this. And you know what else is really nice is that, so she sends you a different box, and then, like I said, the paint's in there and any paper, whatever. I don't know what, this is my first box. I don't know what all she sends, but she probably does do a good bit of papers. But she's gonna have, and I'm gonna be one of them, she's gonna have, well, this is really just when she does a launch, but she's gonna have a playlist on YouTube. But then, you know, everybody posts their pictures of what they've done with the box. So you get a lot of ideas. So if you're, like I said, if you're one who has trouble starting or, you know, putting things together, I think a subscription box will be perfect. Isn't that going to be pretty? Look at the, just look at the colors. I think it's so pretty, and see how there's no wrinkles. So pretty. All right, so I'll finish those. So today we're going to resin those, okay? Whoops. Where's my camera? We're going to resin these. So I love the color. Look at it. And I think I'm going to add some glitter. Some glitter, okay? So let's come down to the table. Okay. Gotta put my gloves on. I'm going to get my phone so I can see the time. Alright, we're using an epoxy resin, and I'm using Amy Howard's brand of resin, which is the one I've just been using lately for a while now. I just like it. So anyway, there's a part A and a part B to the epoxy resin. One is the hardener, one is the epoxy. And I'm just going to mix it up. It takes equal amounts of each one. So what I do, because I don't have, I've ruined all my silicone measuring cups. So I just measure in a plastic cup. This is 40 milliliters. So what I do, I pour in some water. So I poured in 20 milliliters and marked it, and 20 more milliliters and marked that. Okay, so that's going to give me 40 milliliters. Probably still too much, but you know, I usually have something else I can put it on, but I didn't grab it. So here we go. I'm going to start with the part A. Okay, and I'm going to pour my part A to that first line. And y'all, this is really important to get it, and so I like to get down, actually I like to get down eye level with it. Because it is really important, and you know what? It needs to be level. I can tell that's not level. I'm going to pour very slowly so I can get up to that very first line. Okay, that looks good. part B, I'm going to go up to the second line. All right, so whatever resin you use, just read the instructions, the manufacturer's instructions, because they all can be a little different, okay? Okay, so then you just stir it. Look at my watch and my phone. Okay, I'll just look up here on my computer. 3:15. So around 3:18-ish, because you want to stir for 3 minutes. Okay, and you scrape the sides as you're stirring. You scrape the bottom. You don't scrape real fast. You don't whip it around. You stir it slowly. That keeps bubbles from forming. But you usually still have some bubbles that form, but you can easily pop those with a heat gun or a little kitchen torch. So this is unlike the little fast cast resin where you stir for like, 30 to 60 seconds. This is 3 minutes that you need to stir at least 3 minutes. But you have about a 30 to 45 minute working time with epoxy resin depending on the brand. Okay, depending on the brand. Again, read your instructions. This is Amy Howard's brand. I do carry it. And it is, it's just been doing well for me. It dries clear, really clear and block through the air. Okay, so it's 3:18. All right. So, and I know I mentioned gold leafing or painting the sides gold. You can do that, or you can gold leaf over resin. Okay. I'm just going to stir this around. This is easy to do when you're working with just a small project. Now normally too, I will tape the bottom of my coasters, but these are rounded, and I was almost cutting the coaster trying to get the paper off. So I'm just, the heck with it. I'll just, if some drips, get on the bottom, you can always just use a heat gun and heat it and slice them right off. They'll dry in little drips like bubbles, like just round dots. I usually use my hands to do this, and I may once I get through, but I usually just use my hands, maybe I will, just to kind of get the sides smooth. Okay, you don't need a lot of resin, and I always pour too much. I don't know why. I think more is better, but it's really not. But you don't want to be skimpy with it either, because it'll form like little dimples if it's not enough. So if you can see, there is little tiny, I'm sure you can't see, but there are little tiny bubbles in there. And I will just get all of those in just a minute. So let's just speed it up a little bit. So you know what you can do is when you have resin left over, let's do this, y'all, is pour it into a mold. Now here's a mold I just had sitting around, but it's got a lot of clean sections in there. So I'm just going to pour it in my mold. I always love this little clock, little stopwatch or whatever. Keep a little bit though, just because I like to, you want to keep a little bit to add to your project. Okay, so that'll be good. I'm going to move this. All right, so I'm going to take my heat gun and pop these bubbles. You don't hold it on there a long time, just so when you do that, I want to make sure too that I have, when you do that, sometimes you will run some resin off along the sides. And so I do want to make sure that I have plenty on top. I can tell where there's a few. Spots that are thin. And you need to do, you know, keep your projects level. This is not a level up here, so I will have to move it and set it somewhere that it is level, because resin is self-leveling and it will move in the direction of gravity. So if it's leaning in one direction, you will want to get it level. So let's look at how those are gonna, oh, the glitter. Okay, I'm gonna have to take my gloves off. Let me get a little bit of glitter, because these are so pretty. And normally, okay, I'm not gonna try to shake it off, because normally I just kind of, so I like to kind of get it in my fingers. A little bit in my fingers like this, and then kind of rub my fingers together like this very lightly, just very lightly, because I just want a little, I don't want it in globs, you just want to, okay. And this is the extra fine glitter, has this color I thought would be so pretty. I don't use glitter much, but in resin I think it's gorgeous. It settles in the resin, but it does not lose its luster. It doesn't lose its sparkle. I don't have any more sure what's going on, but there's a little dimple here and here. Just gonna keep filling it up until it's level, you know, till it's smooth. So I like to get kind of eye level again with the light. As the light shines on it, you can see what it needs. I think this is good, y'all. Don't worry about just dripping more resin on, because like I said, it self-levels. So it will be fine. So let me see if I can hold these up. I wanted to see if y'all could see some of the sparkle, but can't hold them down too far. Get them over here in the light, maybe. But try not to touch them. If you do resin, just don't touch them, because you're gonna have a fingerprint. So I'll show y'all when they're done. But they look good.